Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really great. This is Humphrey, and today we have a really fun video idea. We're talking about the 25 things that I don't buy anymore. Now, I don't really consider myself a minimalist per se, but I would say because I started tracking my expenses 6 years ago, I track everything, by the way, that I've just become a little bit more conscious about where I spend my money, and there are things that I no longer need or I just found cheaper alternatives for, and I just wanted to make a video explaining what those things are and why I do things the way I do things. I hope that you guys can get something out of this list of things that I don't buy anymore, and maybe you can apply it to your daily lives. I do consider myself a financial minimalist though. That's kind of just off topic, but I don't really have a large variation of equities in my portfolio, but I'll probably save that video topic for another video. So if you'd like to see that, make sure you're subscribed to my channel and to hit the like button on this video because it really helps. So yeah, I hope that you guys really enjoy this video. Leave me a comment with the stuff that you used to buy that you no longer buy anymore. I'd like to hear from you guys, all of you guys, and it could be for whatever reason that's out there. So let's get on with the video. And the first thing that I don't buy anymore are spiral bound notebooks. You know what I'm talking about. These are the notebooks that you bought in college and you would, scribble down a few notes here and there. And I generally would never actually use the entire notebook. What I found was I would just use like 4 or 5 pages and then just stack my notebook somewhere and clutter would build up. These days, if I do have notes, I'm just gonna use like a digital service, like for example, my iCloud notes or little like notepads that I can just write a quick to-do on. The second thing I no longer buy is bottled water. And this is pretty obvious. It's pretty bad for the environment to always use a single-use plastic bottle. And I've opted for, reusable bottles such as this one right here. This is a 40-ounce Yeti, and it was quite expensive because I overpaid for the brand. But I'll use something like that, and that'll save me a lot of money on bottled water, and it also saves the environment, so that's a win-win. The third thing I don't spend money on anymore are band t-shirts or concert t-shirts that you get whenever you go and see a concert. Now, I have bought concert t-shirts in the past, and typically I'm disappointed because I only wear them once or twice, and it's really cool for the time being, but then I end up finding that I just don't really get around to wearing them. So no longer do I buy concert t-shirts. The fourth thing I don't buy anymore is half and half creamer for my coffee. Actually, I have an iced coffee here, and I just put regular coffee in there with 2% milk, and I use 2% milk for my cereal in the morning. For some of you guys that watch a lot of my TikTok and my other YouTube videos, you'll know that I have like a huge thing for Raisin Bran. I have it almost every morning, and so I just use milk in my coffee, and I don't really have to buy half and half anymore. The fifth thing that I don't buy anymore are digital goods. I used to spend a lot of money on like, in-app purchases or in-game skins, for example, for video games like Fortnite, but no longer do I buy those because I just realized, hey, you're spending money for something that doesn't really exist. I mean, they're just pixels on a screen. So the more that I can get away from that, the more responsible I feel. The sixth thing that I don't buy anymore is cheap IKEA decor. You'll know what I'm talking about when you go to IKEA. They usually have some sort of big canvas type of board that looks pretty nice. It's pretty cheap art. It's like 20, 30 bucks. But what I found is it's not really high quality. I'm not really proud to display it. So I just try to stay away from that these days. The next thing that I don't really spend any money on are laptop cases. And I'm talking about those cases that are shells that go onto your laptop. I find them to be rather clunky, and they don't really protect my laptop in any way because I'm not very, clumsy with my laptop. I tend to leave my laptop at home, and when I do travel with it, I'm very, very careful. So I do not need a laptop case. The eighth thing that I don't spend my money on anymore is cable TV. This one's pretty obvious. You don't really need cable anymore with Netflix or Hulu if you have those subscriptions. I personally just use a friend's Netflix and my dad's Hulu account, so I'm pretty golden. I'm pretty golden there, but you don't really need cable TV anymore, and I find that I don't really watch that much TV anymore anyway. The ninth thing that I don't buy are physical calendars. I find that I've moved everything on to a digital calendar. I like to use Google calendars, but I used to buy those little like tearaway calendars, and I found that, yeah, they're kind of like kitschy and kind of cool and kind of like a fun little desk decoration, but really, I just never used them. The 10th thing I'll no longer buy are books that I only read once. If you watch my other video, the 6 dumbest purchases that I've made in my 20s, which I'll try to link up here, you'll know that I bought a Legend of Zelda book that I leafed through one time, and then it just sat on my shelf. And by the way, it's still on my shelf over there. I can go grab it real quick. Give me 1 second. Here we go. The famous Legend of Zelda book I no longer read anymore. Let's just leaf right through this. Well, since I've been filming these YouTube videos, I guess I have read them more than once, so I guess it is kind of necessary. I'm just kidding. Don't buy books that you're not going to read more than once, just simply put. The next thing I no longer buy anymore is the newest iPhone every year. I used to be one of those tech junkies and I would always want the newest technology, but what I found with iPhone technology these days is that it doesn't really get better from year to year anymore. It's not like a huge leap. So what I really do is I just wait 2 years, 3 years before I upgrade my phone. Now, my phone is 2.5 years old now, and it does need to upgrade because the battery is dying quite quickly. I could get a new battery, but I also just want a new phone. It feels like it's been a while, but yeah, I don't really buy a new phone every refresh anymore. The 12th thing that I don't buy anymore are vinyl records. I have a record player, as you can see right here behind me, but I've only bought 1 or 2 vinyls and I don't really see the necessary use for them because I never listen to them. So you won't really see me using a vinyl record anymore. And no offense to anybody that has vinyl records out there or a really nice vinyl record collection. I think it's really cool, just not for me. The 13th thing I don't buy anymore are prepackaged foods. So these are things like pre-cut slices of apples or pre-cut veggies, stuff like that. I just find that the premium isn't really worth it and I'd rather just cut them up myself. The 14th thing I don't buy anymore are touristy knickknacks or little souvenirs, because when I was traveling back when you could travel, I found that I would buy these things and I would come home and I'd put them on my desk, but they would just end up being clutter anyway. So I try to stay away from knickknacks and souvenirs now. The 15th thing that I no longer spend money on is Starbucks coffee. I do enjoy Starbucks. Now, if somebody gives me a gift card, I'm not going to turn it down. I'm not going to not go there. But I try to avoid it, and I'm not going to go there voluntarily to spend $4 on a coffee that I could easily just make at home. And that goes along with the next thing that I don't buy. Number 16 are coffee pods. I used to have an espresso, so I would always have to buy those pods and refill and refill and refill. But I realized I didn't really enjoy Nespressos anyway. I just like classic drip coffee with a little bit of milk. So no longer do I buy those pods. The next thing I don't spend my money on anymore are full service car washes. A full service car wash in my area could run you $30, $35 for an exterior wash and a vacuum on the inside. What I do instead is I just go to the gas station that's down the street from me. For $9, I can get one of those automated car washes where I just drive through the little car wash, and then I can just vacuum it myself. Or what I like to do is on a day-to-day basis, I just like to keep my car really clean on the inside, so I never really need like a deep clean or a deep vacuum. Number 18 are DVDs and CDs. I don't really spend any money on those anymore because it's all online these days. All the content is moving to the cloud, or it has already been on the cloud. So if you're still buying DVDs and CDs, I really question where you're getting them from. Number 19 is fabric softener and dryer sheets. I don't really use these add-ons for when I do my laundry. I typically just like to use detergent and the good old power of sunshine and air drying. So you will not see me using fabric softener or dryer sheets, and I find that even my nicest shirts, if I just wash them in the wash and then let them air dry out, they actually hold up pretty well. The 20th thing I don't buy are jigsaw puzzles. I know that during quarantine, a lot of people were buying puzzles. I'm sure the demand for puzzles went up like crazy, but I've just never really been one to buy them myself. If there is one at my friend's house, I'll help contribute. But for myself personally, I don't buy jigsaw puzzles. I do have a Rubik's Cube that I like to play with from time to time, but that's pretty much it. Number 21 are shirts or clothing for 1 or 2 occasions. I used to buy a shirt just for a special event, or I would buy a dress shirt just because I wanted to impress someone. No longer do I do that. Whenever I'm buying something, I want to make sure it's of quality and that I'm going to wear it multiple times. Number 22 is pretty similar. It's not buying hoodies. I don't really need to buy a hoodie anymore. I am 32 years old. I do not need to look like Billie Eilish, even though she is really dope. Hoodies just, I don't know, I have enough of them, and honestly, I have jackets with hoods on them. I'd much rather wear a jacket with a hood on it than a hoodie itself with the pockets on the front there. So I generally don't spend money on hoodies, and I haven't spent money on hoodies in a good 5 or 6 years now. Number 23 are impulse buys. So I know that you've been there, I've been there myself, but you're at a department store or you're at Best Buy and all of a sudden you see a really great deal that you just can't pass up. Well, those are impulse purchases that you should stay away from. I find that whenever I make an impulse purchase like that, I generally end up regretting it, and I don't really think through my decision of purchasing that. So that's number 23. I try to stay away from my impulse purchases these days. Number 24 is Jamba Juice. When I was in 8th grade, a Jamba Juice used to cost $3.25 for, I believe, a 16 ounce, or was it a 12 ounce? It was a 16 ounce Jamba Juice I could get for $3.25. But these days, with the prices being so crazy, I think they're like $7.50 now, or maybe $7.95 for a smoothie. I'd rather just make a smoothie at home, guys. Like frozen strawberries from Costco are pretty cheap. And then all you need is like a banana to make my favorite smoothie, which is a strawberry banana smoothie. So Jamba Juice, you will not catch me there anytime. Number 25 is plastic Tupperware. I find that plastic Tupperware doesn't really last a long time, and oftentimes it can get warped in the dishwasher, or if just by the sun, just by like drying it in the sun, it could get warped because it's plastic. So what I like to do is I just like to use glass Tupperware these days, and that solves a lot of my problems. Thanks for watching this video. Those were my 25 items that I don't buy anymore, and I hope that you learned something from today's video. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more financially minimalist videos, or if you have any ideas for videos, do me a huge favor and just drop them in the comments because I'd love to hear from you guys. Anyway, thanks for watching again. See you all next time in the next video. Bye.